depending on how your church is laid out, it's always good to walk behind, instead of walking in front. You always usually, bow to the altar, unless you're doing it a lot of times and it becomes distracting. If you have a church that has a tabernacle behind the altar, you only genuflect the tabernacle twice. You come in and when you leave. And that's the only times you genuflect the tabernacle. All the other times the focus is on the altar. There are two cloths that you should be familiar with: corporal and a purificator. Okay. A corporal is placed on the altar beneath where the species, the blessed species will be, the bread or the wine. And you can, it's linen. There's a purpose for that. It should call to mind another linen cloth that was used.
Burial cloth.
They took Jesus' body down and wrapped it in a linen cloth. And so this linen cloth is going to be the kind of shroud for Christ present at the altar. It also serves the purpose of catching any fragments or spilled wine that can be taken care of. So you want to carry the cloth always flat, never right down. And you always want to unfold the cloth flat. So you lay it on the altar flat, fold it flat. I've seen people say, "Oh, that cross is on the wrong side." I've seen it. You've seen it too. Oh, it's upside down. No. Always keep it flat, right? And if you want to stand up so you can see it, I always suggest keep it about an inch or two from the edge of the altar. If you keep it at the end of the altar, the sleeves of the alb are going to rub up against it. It's a little practical thing. Keep it always. And different churches have different sizes, we use large size, so you always unfold it flat, keep it flat. Okay. Sometimes you may use more than one corporal because you go and place the cups on the altar. So the corporal goes first, and then the book. You have to know that your priest uses a book stand or not. At St. Vincent's, we confuse everyone because one priest uses a book stand, one priest doesn't. And one priest puts the book in the center, one priest puts it in the center. So you have to know your priests. Because every priest does it the right way.
Others don't use it.
So then you place the preserve strap, and again, carry over one thing at a time. Don't try to kind of. I've seen it done, I've seen it done, So. So now I take the priest chalice aside. You may have corporal already spread out, or something for the cups. And again, different parishes do things different ways. Some parishes have the cups pre-poured. You set them on the altar or set them. Again, you want to check with your priest how you want them stand. Some priests, whoever.
So you should have two corporals then?
Depends. Normally you have a corporal underneath here.
Okay.
Sometimes you do them on the altar beforehand. Sometimes you bring over an empty cup and the deacon pours the water in before the preparation of the gifts. Other parishes can wait to pour the older way.
So if the wine is not consecrated, then it has to stand on the corporal for the consecration.
Yes. So the corporal is for the setting the bread and or the Eucharistic species.
But if we have wine over there and it's going to be consecrated, it has to be on the corporal.
Normally you would have a corporal.
So the deacon does not have to do this anymore.
I can do this too.
Okay, so our deacon is being informed that they no longer do it like Mass.
Then
Yeah.
bread's brought out in the offertory. Usually the deacon or the priest take it with the server, so you won't probably have it done. I usually put the cup. This is divided like into 9 sections. Right, yeah. So I always usually put the cup right there, middle section, first row. Is that what they do?
No, but it's just good to see that you have a specific way that you orient things, because our priests do, like you said, they're all right, they're just different.
So, because I find that's easiest, so it's, sometimes it's here, then you have to, just leaves, drag through the bread. So you get to know your priest and you get to know how he likes the altar set. Then you go to where the place where the acolyte goes. Now, one thing you want to do is you don't want to get people confused and think you're a deacon already. So you wouldn't stay the deacon at the altar. So you wouldn't want to stay right where the deacon's at. You want to go to a service. Yeah. And you would follow the gestures of the assembly, not the gestures of the deacon. The deacon kneels later and stands sooner. You would do what the assembly does.
We would go to where the servers are at this point?
Yeah, that would be.
In case they're off the altar.
Or someplace other than when the deacon's at.
Maybe over by the credence table, if your altar servers go down the steps or something like that, you may.
Our creed tables even further.
Okay.
So again, it's going to vary because of each different church.
Would the server still bring up the water for the, okay.
And frequently, wouldn't the server still bring the things over to the altar, and you would lay out, because again,
If they bring them over, then you take them from them.
right, then you take them from them, and then you're the one who would open up the corporal and place the chalice on it, that sort of thing. Okay.
So you, again, adjust accordingly for your...
Right.
Then, Acolyte is also a minister of the Eucharist. So it would be good that you also then distribute communion. So you have to kind of get on the schedule,
Can we do this and also be communion at the same time? Or is it one or the other?
No, the acolyte is a Eucharistic minister. So when you are acolyting, part of the ministry is to also
Ordinary.
You're in that middle ground. You're in that middle ground.
Oh, we don't get that. Here, we're
The difference between extraordinary minister and ordinary minister.
Then, another role that you have is that you now purify the sacred vessels. Now, there's different ways to do that. One way is to purify the vessels at the altar. And basically what you're doing is you're taking care of any bread particles or any residue wine that is in the chalice. So there's different ways to do it. For the bread, you take the bread and pat it, and that gets the breadcrumbs out. For the cup, you take a little water, pour a little water in, and then drink it. And then if you have multiple cups, pour a little water in.
Right.
Well,
So,
I think,
excuse me, Father, so you don't, you're putting that water into the chalice, as opposed to putting the water in one, and putting it in the other, and then drinking it? You can do either way. Okay.
But again, it depends on local custom.
local
Yeah.
custom. My preference is, I don't think this is a personal opinion. I think it's better done at the credence table. It can be done at the altar, it can be done at the credence table after communion, or it can be done at